Testing there. We've got some sound here on camera 4. I wonder what happens if I put that on. Oh yeah, then I have stereo. Okay. All right, welcome out to Nampa Bow Chiefs indoor warm-up here in Nampa, Idaho. Shooters for the 10:30 line are just finishing their practice ends, getting ready to get their first scoring ends going here. We've got a pretty full line this end. And we are excited to be here, excited for the indoor season to be starting up again. And we look forward to seeing how today goes. All right. Believe this is another practice end for the 1030 line. All right, so as shooters are headed down to retrieve their arrows, we'll give you just a quick rundown of the format of this weekend shoot. So archers will be shooting a 450 round on a Vegas face target. The X's today will count as 11 when scoring. So there is going to be a possibility of 495 points for the total. The top 10 archers, give or take, depending on how many are in each division, will move on to Sunday's shoot-up round. The shoot up round will be set up as a head-to-head competition. So one shooter shooting off against another shooter. The winner of that will then move on to the next ranked shooter. So today is a qualification round to hope that you will then make it to the Sunday shoot-ups. And as you may have just heard there, this is the first scoring end. Nothing gets archers shaking like those three words, first scoring end. The nerves just hit for some reason. So here we go. Let's see how people do here. Got some decent groups down there with the bare bow shooters. So as you can see, everyone is shooting on the bottom targets here. That is pretty standard for indoor target shooting. The bottom targets shoot first in an effort to not have shadows casting from the top targets down onto the bottom targets. So bottom archers will shoot first, and then they will call up the top line shooters, and then everyone will go down and pull arrows together. Just got a little hold here for some logistics, sounds like.
Joe? You're staying at, oh, okay.
So we are going to take a quick break here to see if we can't continue to work on the streaming quality here. We do apologize. It's the law of technology that as soon as you go live, everything seems to slow down. So we will put you on a quick break here, and we'll be back shortly as we can get this live feed streaming more smoothly for you. All right, so we got Reagan shooting on target 13. Looks like a solid score there. So again, we are here at Nampa Bow Chiefs in Nampa, Idaho. So archers are responsible for scoring their own targets. So usually there's a group of anywhere from 3 to 6 archers in a group. One person recording the scores on paper, another individual calling the target, so calling the arrows what they scored. And then usually there's a second. So if someone disagrees with the call the caller makes, they can ask for a second. If that individual also agrees with the first scorer, then that score stands. If the second scorer disagrees and calls the arrow a different score, then we've got a final that will come in and kind of quote unquote break that tie. And then when the final comes and says their score, that score is going to stand. We got Chip there with his target hat. Got to make sure no one tries to shoot his head there. Something tells me that his daughter Reagan made that hat for him. There's Russ, one of the fab tabs here at Nampa Bow Chiefs. And we've got a nice shot of our youth shooting here at 10 yards. So youth typically under the age of 12 have the opportunity to shoot at 10 yards as opposed to over 12, and adults are shooting at 20 yards or 18 meters. So it's great to see the youth out today representing the young archers of tomorrow. Come down. We've got some of our young adults and youth archers here.
No, he's not shooting. No, he's shooting. I don't know where he's at this week because I talked to him about night plans a couple weeks ago.
All right, so we'll kind of get an idea of how they are shooting here. So Chloe should be there on target 19. Mr. Hammond's on target 18. And Chris Fong on target 17.
up in Ephrata.
So Chloe with a 9 there. Chris with an X. Mr. Hammonds with an X, it looks like.
Because then we're going to Lancaster and then Block. I assume that's where you're at. So, yeah.
Right, so we'll see Chris's final arrow on target 17 there. Ooh, he lifted that. Let's see what we've got there. It looks like it made, it's not an X, but it looks like it's probably a still a 10. So he won't get the 11 points for shooting the X, but it is still a solid 10. And Chloe finishing up here. And hers looks pretty solid there on target 19. All right, so this is the top line up. It's Alex here shooting from Prairie. Alex is there on target 18. Looks like a solid.
That's a really good shot.
We've got Papa Hammonds there on the left, shooting on target 20. Had a little grimace, but it looks like it hit all right. All right. 3 solid shots that round for Alex on target 18. We will shortly go down to score and see how that all turns out. See how some of those bare bow targets are looking. So bare bow, for those who don't know, is a recurve bow, no sights, shooting with fingers. So it is one of the tougher divisions out there to be consistent in. So again, they are scoring. It does look like they have 2 people on each target writing the score, so doing the double scoring to ensure that math gets done correctly, that, you know, each score ends up with the same point total at the end in an effort to prevent any errors. Again, looking good, those youth. Got some adults there helping out with the scoring. What I love is there's a lot of educating that goes on as they help score. They point out maybe why they called it a lower number than what they thought. If it was just barely out. Sometimes a arrow can look like it is touching the line of the heavier or the higher scoring line, but if it is not touching, if it did not break that line, then you get the lower score. So oftentimes, you know, kids and adults are optimistic and go down and think that they may have got the higher points, but when looked at more closely, unfortunately, sometimes they get hit with that lower number.
It's yours. Perfect. You're on video right now. Oh. All right, what do you got?
Oh, X, Y, 9, 8.
5, 6, 9.
Joey, stand on the line for a second. Stand on the line for a second.
Well, just true to form, technology just is giving us a run for our money again today. So We're going to just continue to record this and bring it to you not live today, but we will be bringing you coverage of today, and we'll try to work some things out and see if we can't get back to live for the afternoon. So trying to keep a smile on our face. Sometimes, you know, with technology, that's hard to do. But we are here, happy to be here at Nampa Bow Chiefs today at their indoor warm-up. And we look forward to bringing you different footage of these archers shooting at the 10:30 line now. They have at least 2 more lines today. Another one, I believe, at 1:30. Or excuse me, 1 o'clock, and another one then at 3:30. Again, this is a qualifying line for Sunday, which then those who qualify for Sunday's shoot will be doing a shoot-up form. So they will shoot head-to-head against one other archer. Whoever scores better after 3 rounds, I believe, will then move on to the next highest qualifying scorer, and they will proceed in that fashion until the number 1 shooter is going head to head with the person who has climbed up the ladder there. So again, today, just a qualifying round. It is a 450 round where X's do count as 11s, so that will make the high score possible a 495 today. So again, we've just got some targets down range. It looks like the youth are gonna pull their arrows here. Again, you do not touch arrows before they are scored, so that would disqualify those arrows. You would get a 0. There is that red line that you may see on the floor there. Often, you know, they ask archers who are not part of the scoring process to go ahead and stand behind that red line to keep the targets open and available for the scorers to get the good perspective that they need to call the correct scores. So there you do see a number of the Nampa Bow Chiefs Fab Tab group. The Fab Tabbers are the Nampa Bow Chiefs Bear Bow community, of which I am proud to be a part of. So we've got Rand Hill there, Russ Sherman, Chip Heffelfinger, and the infamous Wayne on the far left there. All of those shooters are signed up for our, well, not Archery Northwest, but Archery World out of Oregon and Washington. Our Lacey, Washington location is putting on an Archery World Classic the first weekend of December, December 6th through the 8th in Lacey, Washington. And those 4 Fab Tabbers there are signed up to participate in that tournament. that tournament is a Lancaster Classic style format. Again, it's a 660 round, so shooting 60 arrows with a possible 660 score. So it looks like we've got Chip shooting there on target 13, Russ on 12, and Rand there on 11. So Chip throwing them in there. Rand smacking arrows. Smacking arrows. Chip smacking arrows. A quick 3 and off the line. Rand with his final arrow. And solid group. Also, great shot by Russ. So, again, that Archery World Classic, signups are still available if you are looking for a fun indoor archery tournament on the West Coast, formatted exactly like the Lancaster Classic, which is one of my favorite shoots to attend. We designed it to be shot on the West Coast for those who couldn't make that travel out to Pennsylvania. So we're looking to have about 250 shooters this year in roughly 16 to 17 different classes. There is a championship class for anyone who has a pro card. Men or women would shoot in the championship class there. They would compete against each other. However, we decided to do something new this time where we would pay out 10% more if a woman qualifies in that pro class in the championship. If they finish in the top 3, they'll get a 10% additional payout just as an incentive because they're quote unquote shooting in a tougher division. So as the classic grows, we would then split that championship division into men's and women's. We do have a men's open, which is men's freestyle, women's open, senior men's open, women's senior open, barebow men, barebow women. We've got 4 youth divisions, male and female, above 12 and under 12. We have bow hunter freestyle, men's and women's, as well as senior men's and senior women's. And of course, we don't want to leave out men's and women's Olympic recurve. Each have their own division. So any style of bow that you are shooting, there's a division for you at the Archery World Classic, December 6th through the 8th in Lacey, Washington. You can go to archeryworld.net to find the signups for that shoot. But back here at Nampa at their indoor warm-up, they are looking to go pull their arrows. We should be getting close here.
Feel a lot better about his bow being right there.
Yeah. I'm thinking of going.
I know. When I shoot there, I literally, I mean, obviously walking down range, but any other time, that thing's like between mine got knocked over the things.
All right. Whoa. Bring it on down. There we go. As archers are scoring.
I'm always worried, especially when there's a lot of little kids running around, about what a step, because that'll definitely
We got another advantage going down the target line as people are finishing scoring and then pulling arrows. For me, this is one of my favorite parts of the shoot, is just getting to chat with the other archers as we go down and score our arrows. Try and regroup. Hello, Wayne. Try and regroup and get ready for the next end, and forget about maybe how we scored this last end, and put 3 solid shots together. So we got Chris Fong. There we go. Grant Hammond's pulling his arrows there. Chloe, a shooter for Endless Archery as well. Okay, she's fixing her target, just making it a little cleaner to aim at. Alright, looks like we're going to get a good view there of some of the barebow targets again. And then we're focused in here, it looks like, on Chris Fong's target, the one on the left there. So we'll see how this round goes for Chris. Chris is one of the top shooters in Idaho as a youth. He often shoots up in his division. He has been doing that since he was a youth, shooting into the young adult, and now he's a young adult, often shooting into the adult division. So we're on his target here, and we'll see how things pan out for him this round. So it looks like he's got a pretty solid X on that first arrow. Again, X's are scoring 11 points in this round.
All right, I don't know if you can get me. I think we're on the same mic right now. So this is Joe, also from Archery World, but representing Archery Northwest this weekend. So I shoot with Chris in a few different shoots through the spring and summer, and it's fun. And we talk, just like anybody else, we talk strategies and we talk what to focus on and everything. And he made a small little change that he noticed made an impact on his group in a positive way. A couple of days ago, he's been shooting some PS27s with and their 300 spine with 150s in the front for the points. And just a couple of days ago, he switched to some 180s that he had to see if it would make a difference. And he noticed his score didn't improve dramatically, but his group improved enough that he noticed it. And he's been, he's a great shooter. So he shot some 30Xs last year. This year, he said the highest X count he's got is somewhere around the 26 range, 26 X's when he shoots a 300. So he's trying to increase that back to what he felt like he had last year. Now, one thing with growing youth is they're going to have to chase a lot because they're all physically growing at the same time. So he's making small tweaks on his cables so that he can keep up with his growth spurts, and he's got to make adjustments to the cam so that he can change the draw length when he needs to. So all those things on top of everything else. So once he settles into whatever height he's going to be in the next year or two, he probably won't have to make as many adjustments on that. But it looks like he's got a really clean in there, so it looks like he's going to have a 33. Again, the X's are 11, so it's a 30 with 3 X's. And now that next end is going to shoot. So this is the bottom row of targets that we're showing you right now. I think this is at the half coming up. So after this end, I believe they're going to change over.
bad. Too bad.
What?
One of them was his.
So we're going to go down and start talking to a few people now. This is the 10:30 line that started, so I believe this is at the half. So, hey, Grant, is this the half?
Yes, this is half.
How's it going? How you
Good, how
shooting?
about you? Okay. I got warmed up finally.
All right, awesome. Well, there's a lot of X's out there still to get.
Yeah.
11.
When they're close like that, I don't want to call my house.
Well, the original.
All right, so they are scoring. This, like Joe just mentioned, is half.
This is a 3 or 4 person job, then there's just 2 of us doing it, and we're not crazy technically savvy, but we're going to make it work. So moving some cameras around, repositioning some things. So. All right, so that's Clay right here. He's tossing the remote up for the timer. He's running this 10:30 line. He shot on the 8 a.m. line so he could run this line for them. But he only dropped 2 10s, and he had a high 11 count. So he's sitting pretty good right now. So he is really happy with the way he shot. So he shot a very respectable score. So we'll see how that plays out at the end of the day. All right, so that was the half. So that was pretty clean there, Chris.
So now they will switch their targets from the bottom row. They're going to switch them and shoot top line.
And that's
and if they
Alex
were on
Cooley.
the top,
He's
they're
up
going to
in
shoot
Prairie.
on the bottom.
So you've got Camas Prairie up north of us. They got a really beautiful range up there too. We shot one of their shoots, the State Safari, this past year. He's the president of the club up there at Camas Prairie Bowman, and it's a great place to shoot if you live up in that area. So he's down here visiting. He wanted to get his bow set up with a little bit of pressure, and he wanted to find the bigger shoot. And since there's just under 100 people, I think they have 87 registered, and there's going to be a few walk-ins that'll pay off for him long-term since it's early in the season. And that's why this is the warm-up to begin with, is it's to invite people to get their bows back out. A lot of people are hunters, and just as the fall comes, it's a good way to kick off the season for indoor archery. So they get a ton of youth, a ton of adults, all kinds of different genres of archers. A lot of bare bow influence in this area too, and they got some good 3DA programs here too.
All right, so like I was mentioning before, those archers that shot the first 5 rounds shooting on the bottom have now moved their targets to the top, and the archers that were shooting on the top have moved theirs down to the bottom. So those bottom archers will shoot first on the last 5 targets. So here we go.
You only dropped 2 10s,
2 10s.
and then you had a good high X count, which would be 11. So that's good. So that was a good, especially for that early in the morning. I was just getting out of bed, I think. So, but you got to work. You know, he's a club member here at Nampa Bow Chiefs, so they put him to work as soon as he was done off the line, so he can work for him the rest of the day. So, who's a couple more to keep an eye on? I know you're shooting championship flight.
I believe so.
All right. So, and I'm sure Chris Fong is shooting championship.
Yep. Chris Fong will do pretty good.
And Nick Ingram's here. He's shooting this afternoon, I think, at 1.
Yep.
It's when he's going to shoot. He's scoring for some kiddos right now. So he'll break out his bow here after the line and get ready. So there's some stiff competition here to begin with. And then this is only one line of 4. This is, I think, the fullest line, and then you probably have about 20 or 30 on each additional line that happens. I think said
1 o'clock is almost full.
Okay. I was talking to Michelle, and she said there's about 87 pre-registered right now, and there's going to be some that sign up and walk in and sign up if they know there's a little room. So you're getting a front point of view here from watching some different archers. So if you're in this competition, hopefully you get to go back and kind of look at your form, see what you're in on. So you're starting right now. You've got the kiddos just getting up to the line. Clay's reminding them.
Talkie talk.
Yeah, I can start with you. Let's see, who am I here with? I'm here with Wyatt right now. Did you shoot already on this end? What target are you on?
I'm on the bottom second bell.
What lane?
D. Bottom D.
Are you on lane, and what number? Are you on number 4?
I'm on number 4, yeah.
Number 4, oh, so they're all in the middle right there, right? Oh, that's great shooting. I was going to talk to whoever that was anyway, so I guess I am. So it looks like they're all pretty good there. We'll go down range and we'll move the camera over so we can see how you did after this line is clear. And then it's pretty fun. How old are you now?
11.
11 years old, and you're already shooting like that. So did you practice at 20 yards too?
Yes.
All right. So 12, is it 12 and under that you have to shoot at 10, or is it under 12?
11.
11. So at 12 you have to shoot at 20? Okay, so you're ready anyways, right? And so that's great. And so getting into it, how long have you been shooting, Wyatt?
Since I was like 4.
Oh, wow. That's about when I started. So I've got a picture of me in one of my shops that shows me shooting the recurve when I was 4 in my backyard. And let's talk about your bow real quick. I know camera can't see exactly, but we can talk about it and then show it when we walk up and get it again. But you've got an Elite Ember? Is that an Ember?
Elite Basin.
Which one is it?
Elite
The
Basin.
Basin. Oh, okay, the Basin. Yeah, that's a great bow. And then what kind of sight? You got a CBE?
Yeah.
That's a CBE Tactic sight. Yeah. All right, we're clear. So I think we're going to go down. So I'm going to move this camera over and I'll come talk to you again.
So we'll see where Joe decides to take this. See how these archers scoring down here. Sometimes it is tough to make that adjustment from shooting on the top target down to the bottom, or vice versa,
All right.
shooting from the bottom
so Wyatt,
to the
this
top.
is your target down here on number 4. So you shoot for Endless Archery just right around the corner from here. It's about 5 minutes, and it looks like you got, is that a 31 or a 32? It's going to be close. So when they get to it, we'll see what they call. Okay.
Okay.
All right, who's calling it this end? Which one? Okay, 999.
Here, hold that and say it.
So I got 446. I got a 446. That's me. No, 6.
Call upper for me.
4, 4, 6. Who got it? I already know.
Okay. And
Me.
Wyatt,
Wyatt.
bottom.
11, 11, 10.
Does everybody agree?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess. I think that's
So what are we calling that? 32. That's
32.
a great end.
And then you got me up then 8, 8, 9.
8, 8, 9.
Are these your own pins? Huh? Are those your own pins? Yep. Nice. Do they just look like normal pins?
All right. I'll get you in a few minutes and we'll interview some too, but I want to give a thanks to the parents that come down and help get this organized, especially with as many youth as they have shooting at these shoots, helping make sure they're doing it, but they're not doing it for them, they're teaching them. So that's the neat thing about it. So they'll, if they have zero experience on that target bell, they'll run it a little bit differently. They'll call them and have the kids kind of mirror them and watch what they're doing, but when they start to get a little bit of experience, they're calling the line on their own. They're making sure that they call it right, and if the arrow touches the line, they get that next higher score. So great, that's great shooting, Wyatt. So let me see, let's get a couple of you guys together and see. You're on 4 top, right? And you're Owen, you shoot for Nampa Bow Chiefs. You shoot out of here too, right?
Yes, sir.
Who's your mom and dad?
Matt and Jamie.
Okay, so what's your last name?
Rybar. Rybar, R-I-B-A-R.
Okay, and so you're shooting, this is the first end on this new half, and so you shot pretty good on that too, right? What, you got it, was that 2 9s, or was one of them, did that one catch 8, 8, and 9? Oh, so it was so close. So that's, so all it is just a little bit more focus on that shot, right? And what kind of release you shooting there?
True Ball Champ.
Oh yeah, that's a great little one too, because you'll grow out of that eventually, but it fits perfect right now, I bet, huh?
And then I love it because it does this so I can move around like this so I can get comfortable
Oh yeah.
when I'm drawing back.
Yeah, that's important. All right. Well, we'll get ready for the next end here. Oh, excuse me, young lady.
All right, so we'll get some camera angles switched up here. Get repositioned. Again, we are here in Nampa, Idaho at Nampa Bow Chiefs, which is a
So you're on the top line, right?
club.
Is this Pops right here?
Yeah.
All right, so and he's just walking you through it. All right, how long you been shooting?
Probably like 2 months now, 3 months. So last year I did the 6 weeks, and then now this year I'm probably gonna be shooting for 3 months.
Awesome. Are you in the S3DA program?
Am I? Yes, I am.
That's a good program, and I think Nathan's one of the coaches there, right?
Yeah.
And so he's the president of the Nampa Bow Chiefs too, so it's a good program to be in, especially to learn to shoot. And I noticed that you're left-handed, or you shoot left-handed. Do you write left-handed as well?
No.
Well,
I write right-handed, and I am left-handed on both.
all right, so a lot of people ask how you find out which eye dominance you have, and how do you know if you're going to be a right or left-handed shooter. And so how old are you?
I'm 7.
Okay, so at 7 years old, how did you determine you're going to shoot left-handed? What kind of things did you do to find out?
I pretty much just did my shoots. I don't know. I just figured it out.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to ask Dad, too, how he figured it out, right? So he probably knows maybe a little bit more insight on that, too.
Yeah, so his sister's in small bore rifle, and he was practicing while we were having him shoot small bore, and he was always keeping his left eye open while he was going down the peep sights. And he used his left hand a lot growing up as he was determining which hand he was going to be dominant, and so we did a lot of series with the rifle and figured out that he was left eye dominant, and that's why we switched him to bow.
And I'm also right-handed in gun, and I use my left eye, so I'm kind of a weird shooter,
But when you do start shooting rifle, we'll have you shoot left-handed as
No,
well.
I'm probably just going to be like Ellie.
Well, it'll work itself out, I think. So I think you're getting ready to shoot, so good luck.
Thank you.
Well, that's cool that little sis is in small bore, so that's a really cool sport, too. You know, it takes a lot of concentration to do these precision-type shooting sports. So I shot high power for a lot of years on the rifle team for the Marine Corps, and that helped me lead into archery and just become better at that too. So at 7 years old, it's hard. Not many left-handed shooters you see because they've typically not figured it out on the eye dominance yet. It usually comes at 10 or 11 where you can watch them enough and some of the habits they have. So that's pretty cool to catch them that early.
Yeah, I was a range master in the Army, and when I was working with him shooting, I just noticed that he kept favoring keeping his left eye open. And so we said, well, let's try it with the rifle. And then when we came for bow, it just made sense. Let's just keep that's your dominant eye, so let's keep it. And he's done better.
Yeah, of course, and so that's awesome. You know, I was an instructor for well over a decade in the Marine Corps, and it's the same type of thing. Sometimes as adults is when you find out, as a range master, how many people have switched from right to left that can't hit anything, and you at first you're not sure what's going on, and then you start watching them and you pick up those things. So that's helped your daughter, that's helped your son, that's going to help a lot of people that they come in contact with too, and that's a really big one. I didn't know I was left eye dominant until I had set a national record on the rifle team, and that's because I couldn't shoot a pistol, because the pistol is easy to move to one eye or the other, and I always close my left eye, so I'm right eye dominant if I do that. But if I left them both open, it just had this hard time, and that's because I grew up left-handed. So I grew up left-handed, but my dad wanted me to be right-handed, so he took everything out and put it in my right hand, and he didn't know how to teach me to shoot a bow or a gun left-handed, so he taught me to shoot it right-handed, and I didn't know any difference then. Now, they're so much more advanced in how we learn. It'll make you a great shooter. So, looks like you shot pretty good down there, too. All right, he's been shooting about 3 months here, so that's a great little group there. So as he learns to be able to group that, dad being a range master in the Army and already having a daughter in small bore, he's going to be able to dial this young man in really quick, and then it's going to help with their success. So this is 8 youth shooters right now that are under 12 years old, but this is only one line of 4. So each line of qualifying is only going to have so many shooters on it because of the space in the range. And then tomorrow what will happen, I think Megan probably explained it, is there'll be brackets and shoot-ups. So they'll do the brackets starting at 9 a.m. We'll record that, and then we'll post that as soon as the brackets are over as well. And hopefully it doesn't take as long to upload for you guys. All right, looks like the young women are in the middle here, so we'll pick them up. And it's got some youth in there too. So in the green jersey right there, that's Nathan. He's shooting bear bow this weekend. He's the president of Nampa Bow Chiefs, so he's been one of the leads. Of course, there's a ton of work and a ton of logistics that go into this, but that go into putting this shoot together and getting it all organized. Thanks. All right, So we're watching your sis right now. So let's commentate for her. She doesn't know we're watching her. So maybe she does. Keep pointing at her, kinda. So all right, let's point. She's shooting a Matthews. That's a TRX 38?
Yes, that's a Gen 1.
Okay. Yeah. I shot that bow. It was a great shooting bow. Yeah, I've got a title now, but I really like the TRX platform too. So she's shooting X7s, it looks like, from Easton.
Yes. X27s.
X27s, yeah. And have you kept track of how she's shooting right now, or are you just in your own little bubble?
She's beating our butts.
Oh, is she?
She's beating our butts.
All right. So does she let you know that when she wins? She's pretty humble about it?
Oh, she likes to have a little fun, but yeah, she's pretty humble.
She gets it done quick, so she's done and off. So she's and she's on 10, it looks like.
Yep.
Yeah. So she's putting her those all sunk in the middle there. So it looks like a 33, and you're on top line.
Yes, I'm on top.
All right. So not that we're gonna turn it and watch you, but we expect a 33 to tie it up, at least for this end.
I'm gonna sure try.
All right.
It's kind of nice to draw. Idaho plus Nevada.
Not bad.
Sorry. I migrate around so I take people's normal standing spots here. All right, I think that first bear bow in the red jersey, you got a whole series of them, so Megan's been talking about them, so I'm going to talk about the fab tabs. That red and black jersey is part of the fab tabs, so from the middle with the orange, with the yellow sleeves there, that's Rand. He shot single string fling in Troutdale, Oregon last week, and he did well in that. Walked away with some money. Now, Russ is beside him. He just got back from Lithuania, I think he went to on vacation, and he said he hadn't put a lot of arrows downrange because he was on vacation for so long out there, but he's back now and starting to do it. And next to him, just getting ready to draw back his bow, and the all-black bow, is Chip. He won Vegas last year, and I'm hearing arrows slapping down there from both of them, so I know that's a great set of bear bow shooters there.
That was a great end there. Lots of those bear bow shooters. Chip smacking those arrows in the middle.
Again, hear that? Click, boom.
Not sure how Rand is shooting without some serious music in the background.
Let's see how these youth shooters did. There looks like the majority of the young adults are going to be on like 8, 9, 10, and 11. So let's see if we can't take a gander at their targets here. And then I got to show you at least highlight Chip here as we go down. I heard some arrows slapping, shooting bear bow, and let's see that. All All right, old man, you got to get out of the way for a second. I at least want to celebrate this end here shooting bare bow. And this pretty much explains how he won Vegas last year. So he shot a 33 shooting bare bow just now, so that's an accomplishment. And I think this is their third end on top, so after they switched. So he's not got anything out of the yellow, and he's got smoked that round, so that's impressive. Now let's take a look at these youth. These youth shooters here. Yeah. Hey, somebody needs to check his equipment.
That's my,
Did he shoot
attempt to do that.
Is he shooting a release?
Yeah.
That's good. All right. Definitely. That's Reagan. Chip's daughter. All right. Now, no pressure, but we're going to see if you can follow it up. We're going to, yeah, we'll see if you can follow it up now, Chip. All right, so we'll get a good close-up view of this and hopefully see how these bare bow shooters do. Chip's that second target from the left. And we'll take a look at that. So 33 is highly impressive shooting bare bow. But I believe, you know, he shoots year round, obviously, but I believe he averages in the low 280s. I'd have to talk to him to confirm that, but every time I've ever watched him shoot, he's posting up a 279 to 284, somewhere in there. So he's got it figured out. And to give everyone an idea, not that I can do a direct comparison, but somebody that shoots a 280 shooting bare bow is like somebody that's shooting a 28X 300 that shoots a compound consistently. So when he shoots a 284, that would be like shooting a 30X, or anywhere approaching 290 is like shooting a 30 plus X. It's just impossible to equate exactly. Maybe we can get Chip to explain that, but since he's not shot a ton of compound, it would be hard for him to recognize that value difference. But I would imagine anybody that's shooting 280, you're definitely shooting 300s with a compound comparably, but it's just going to be a very high X count. That's what the difference would be. So I'll see if he's got any insight. Hold on, Reagan. I want to sit right there, and I'll get both of you. So, Chip, I want to talk about this. I know we were talking about you just shot a 33 right there, right? So when you shoot a normal 300 round, I think, if I'm not wrong, you're averaging in the low 280s when you're doing that? Or,
high 270s, low 280s.
Yeah, that's what I was guessing just by watching you. So I was trying to give people that are watching this a comparison to like how a compound bow would score somebody shooting freestyle. So in my mind, if you're shooting a 275, that's a 300, but lower X count. And if you're shooting a 280, that's going to be like a 300 with a high X count, like above a 26 or 27, pushing that 28 mark for X counts, but it's still a 300 nevertheless. So I'm thinking anytime you break 285, you're hovering around that 29 or 30 X count, and there's really no equation above that. If you're shooting a 290 or better, you're shooting plus 30 X's,
I've never been there.
No, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't know many people that have, and there's been maybe you can count them on one hand that have broke that 290 mark, right? Shooting bare bow. That's a goal that you strive for. It's an unachievable goal, and that's what makes it different than compound, or at least unachievable so far, right? So
on this face, on a blue and white face, I'm in the 290s.
Yeah, but since there's a chase there, there's never an ending. And on compound, there's, you could, across the nation, there's going to be hundreds of people that shoot a 300 with 30 X's, which is as good as that game can get for a compound shooter. And no one's perfected that for bare bow because no sights, you can't shoot a large diameter arrow. Now you're at a slight advantage because you're tall, so you can shoot a bigger diameter than some, but you have to have a properly spawned arrow. You can't just go shoot a 27 diameter arrow and get it to fly right.
Yeah, and World Archery rules 23 64 is the maximum diameter. So that's what I'm shooting. I'm shooting an X23 2314. So
okay, 2314. All right, your turn. Good luck, buddy. All right, so we're watching him right now, and then now let's talk to Reagan. So, Reagan, you're watching the old man shoot here, and then how are you doing right now, though?
I had kind of a rough start. I mean, it wasn't too bad. It's just not how I've been shooting. I usually am better on top than I am on bottom, but I'm doing better on the bottom this time for whatever reason.
So Chip won Vegas last year, but you guys also came. I want to that you guys came and shot the Archery World Classic that we put on at the first weekend in December, and you won that, didn't you? Or got second on that. So how did that feel, standing on the platform and shooting in that format? And because we do that kind of in honor of Lancaster to prep people for that pressure that they would feel when they go there.
I don't really remember any of it. I remember it because I watched the YouTube video afterwards, but I'm pretty sure like I blacked out because I was so nervous. But it was good experience because of Lancaster's going to be the same exact way, and it was good to get that experience of head to head and then getting like interviewed in between. But I was so nervous.
Yeah, that's kind of why we do it. Megan and I went to Lancaster a few different times, and we really enjoyed that format, so we wanted to replicate that here on the West Coast. So we try to mimic that to the degree that we can for the size that it is. So this year we think we'll have somewhere between 225 and 250 people, and we're going to introduce the 12 ring for the finals too. It won't be in play for the qualification rounds or the brackets, but for the finals, just like Lancaster, you'll be able to call that 12 ring if you're in the finals and try to change that score if you're a little behind or you want to put some pressure on the other shooter. Now, I'm going to ask you right now, if you're in the finals and you're behind by 4 points, are you shooting at that 12 ring or are you shooting at the middle?
I'm shooting at the middle. I don't trust myself enough to shoot at that 12 ring.
And that's bare bow. I mean, that it's only like the size of a dime, maybe a little bit more. So it's not big. Some compound bows will shoot at it, but I suppose what could happen is you could call it, and if you hit a 10 or an 11, you're still getting that. But if you're aiming at it and you catch a low 9, you're still all right.
Yeah.
But if you hit it and you didn't call it, that might be in play too. So I'm just giving you some food for thought there. I expect to see you in the finals again.
I hope so. I want that buckle.
All right. Let's see how Chip did this time in the bare bows. Oh man, he fell apart. A 29. No, that's still great. You're shooting bare bow. So you can't argue that. So we're just pulling his chain a little bit because it's he takes that type of humor funny. All right, I'm back with Megan now. So, do you see Chip's 33 there that he put down.
That was very impressive.
Yeah, so I think they've only got a couple more ends on this. So what we'll probably do is we'll wrap up this, because this is just a qualifying round for tomorrow, because we want to come back and get a lot of footage tomorrow to upload too. So we try to live stream this, and we apologize for any glitches that anyone that tried to watch it experienced, and we're going to cut that off now. We'll try to start uploading this line, and we'll get ready for the next line as well. So we'll see you guys on the next line.
See you later. Thanks for tuning in.